So, Victor, what's the worst thing that's ever happened to you when you ate something off the ground?
I always try to avoid, being nasty because you never know. I mean, there could be a whole army of people right inside my body just ready to just go bananas on me with every tiny little detail I do, from every snot, every little piece of little drool of saliva, just anything can happen. And it's crazy, but hey, if it'll protect me, that's all that matters.
That's right. Hopefully, no white blood cells have to cause a full-on germicide. Let's start the show.
So what? What if the show gets canceled and you guys never get to do movies or anything like that? Say that.
Yes, bitch! There she is!
They should let children out of school to see this movie. They should show it in school.
Boy, that escalated quickly.
I disagree.
I am Iron Man.
There's gonna be consequences and repercussions.
You're gonna have to rock a thong with this. Oh, no, I don't wear thongs. I have a very fussy taint.
Oh, behave.
Welcome back to Not Ready for Popcorn Players, the #1 podcast where the mafia can form a hideout in your armpit. My name is Johnny Watson.
And I'm Victor Higgins, the #1 person who is always clean, I think.
Well, we would hope so. Because, as you guys know, we review the movies led by former SNL cast members. We have a whole lot of different types. But today we are sort of popping our animation cherry because there's a couple of things going on. While this is a primarily animated movie, it also has like sort of maybe, what would you say, about a third in live action?
Like probably somewhere in between, because like kind of there's like moments where you like have it be animated, but like you forget that it's live action. It's something they blast you with a live action scene. You're like, all right, there's also this to this movie. So I guess we'll say like 1/3 for it.
Yeah, it's something like that. I felt like a good way to get in. It felt like a good way to ease you guys into the animated space by slipping in a little live action in there.
Nice segue.
Kind of like the pill in the wrapped in cheese. Of course, we are talking about 2001's Osmosis Jones, led by Chris Rock, voice acting wise. So yeah, it's still pretty cool. A lot of things going on. I think. What's your relationship with this movie? Because here's what's mine. I think I saw this movie when I was younger. I don't think I saw it all the way through. I think I saw it on Cartoon Network a few times. Never really knew what was going on, what type of movie it was. There was just a lot of funny stuff. I don't think I ever had the full context. But then again, it's also so long ago that I might have forgot and I saw it. So something of that nature. What's your relationship with it, Victor?
Well, I think my first real like moment of seeing anything from this movie, because when you recommended this movie to me, I had no idea what it was. I never even heard of the name. Well, at least I thought I never even heard of the name, but then I saw like the trailer for it, and then I was like, oh, okay, I'm like familiar with like this movie. And I remember I first encountered it thanks to one of the like Watch Mojo top tens, and they were having a
Really?
top 10 live action movies that also have animation in them. And spoiler alert, this one wasn't even in the top 10. It was like one of their honorable mentions where they show a clip of it and then they just move on to whatever is #1. And so like, yeah, it was definitely a very fun movie. And looking at the premise like of it was like very fascinating. And it's something that like you don't really see a whole lot in any sort of movies. Like, cause I don't think like a common like thread for movies, like, oh wow, here's yet another movie involving with someone being inside of your body.
Oh yeah.
I do like know like another movie that we could do that is kind of that same premise. Is I've heard the name of it, but that one Eddie Murphy movie. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Oh, I don't know. Wait, no, I don't think I do.
Well, like yeah, but like, it's like one of those like creative movies that even though we don't do like ratings here, if I was to give this like a based off just the concept alone, this is a full 10 out of 10 movie.
Wow, you loved this movie.
Yeah, just based off the concept. The overall, we'll get into it, but the overall like movie is just like fine. But like some fun stuff here, and as usual, let's talk about our main lead of Chris Rock, who we have like talked about a tiny bit with both Boomerang.
We talked about him a little bit in the Grown Ups episode, but not like in full depth. Obviously, a huge part of the latter part of the 80s. It's interesting where he kind of fits in among the black cast members. As he says, he's the first one to come on after Eddie Murphy. Obviously, that's not exactly true, but
Yeah,
because Damon came on and then quit, it's like, well,
yeah,
yes,
and
but
Denitra
no, but
Vance.
his was so, yeah. And Denitra Vance, rest in peace for sure.
Yeah,
But yeah, it's a really weird scenario for him to have his legacy like that because they were so short lived. You know what I mean?
right. Yeah, and also I have to correct you a little bit. He's actually never was part of the early 80s. He was only part of or the late 80s. He only was part of the early 90s era of the
He didn't
show.
get in there in '89 at all.
Mm-mm. No.
Damn.
Yes, he started in season 16 and went on for 3 seasons. And kind of one of the interesting cast members because I feel like when you like think of those early like 90s cast members, you think of like Adam Sandler, Chris Farley, all the people, and they were all over their era from pretty much David.
Heavily, very heavily.
And you would think Chris Rock was too, not necessarily because he just kind of like faded into the background for a good amount of stuff, and he did have a few recurring characters like Nas X or
That
what?
X, yes.
Not Nas X, Nas X, but also the I'm Chillin' sketches he did with Farley, which were a big favorite of mine. But like overall, he didn't do a whole lot, and he was only on for 3 seasons after. And once he kind of realized, oh hey, this show is not for me. Peace out, everybody. And that kind of happened. And it's so funny to me because like despite him not being on for such a long time, I can understand why SNL will still give him his own best of DVD. And what's so funny about that to me is that apparently there's one sketch in there back when Michael J. Fox hosted that includes the entire sketch in there, but like Chris Rock only says like one thing in it, and that's in his best of DVD.
Oh wow, damn.
Yeah, like it's all about like Farley, Michael J. Fox, Adam Sandler, like all the big people, and then Chris Farley Chris Rock just says like one thing in it, and that's it. And that's in his best stuff. Like what?
Yeah, it's a really interesting thing. And also, as we know, it's one of the cast members that became wildly way more famous after he left.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because towards the end, I guess the middle, he was doing bit parts, like that part in New Jack City that he had. But after this, I'd say, I think it's Kill the Messenger. After that comedy special on HBO, I want to say, what is that, 1995, 96, he starts blowing up huge. He gets his own show. He's getting in way more movies. He's leading movies to the point where you get to something like Osmosis Jones. And it's like, well, of course they would ask him to do this because he's enormous by the time of 2000 when they might have recorded this.
Oh, for sure. And looking up the Eddie Murphy movie I was talking about, that one was 2008's Meet Dave. That's what I was thinking of.
We'll have to see that one later. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. And yeah, so Chris Rock, obviously a huge deal. Completely understandable why he was getting into this movie. We also have to talk about a couple more. So there's Bill Murray, who's playing the live action person that if you've never seen this movie, there is an entire society inside of a person's human body, and that human body is that of Bill Murray, who plays, what's his name, Frank
Detour.
Frank Detour, that's right, yes. And Frank Detour, he's in a real complicated situation, as we'll get into. Bill Murray was definitely going all out with this. Chris Rock was crushing it with the voice acting. Bill Murray was doing some really wild physical stuff, especially with the facial interactions, I would say. But like I said, we all know about Bill Murray as we discussed in the Meatballs episode. And then a surprise. I think I saw this when I was looking at the movie, the info, but I forgot about it. Molly Shannon shows up about halfway through this movie. Yes.
And obviously, we'll definitely get to cover Molly Shannon more deeply when we do some movies like Superstar and other stuff.
Yes, totally.
Like, and of course, we already got to talk about her a little bit in our
and Night at Roxbury.
She's like a great
extremely different character from that one in this movie.
Yeah, but also kind of screamy in the same way that she was in her Night at the Roxbury character.
Yeah, there's some elements she takes. Yeah,
and also someone who you don't always get to talk about when you talk about SNL cast members, as he was only on for one season during an infamous season of season 20. But we also have Chris Elliott. who is
Oh, I
also
thought I wasn't completely sure. I thought Chris Elliott might have been one, but I wasn't sure if he was really in there.
part of the infamous season 20.
Wow.
He
So we
only
got
on
four
for
in there.
only for one season, but like he was very great in that season. Like if you're ever gonna watch season 20, definitely like look forward to Chris Elliott because he does some
Wow, Chris Elliott, the silver
absolutely
lining
amazing.
of season 20.
Yes. Yeah, here playing Bob Detour, Frank Detour's brother, and his brother, and also his brother and his brother.
Oh yeah, Uncle Bob. Oh my God, bro.
Yes.
I got some things about Uncle Bob in this shit, man. Oh my God.
And also, to me, it seemed like he was like looking like that character he was in a scary movie. Just kind of maybe minus like.
Chris Elliott was in Scary Movie.
I thought you knew that. Yeah, he was. I think he was only in the second one.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
It's been so long since I've seen those. I wouldn't know about that much.
Yeah, we
Okay,
might
and
have
then
to do. We might have to do the first one, maybe because I saw Sherry Terry has like a news reporter character in that one. I know she's part of the revival one too.
okay, maybe. Anyway, speaking of everyone, we've also got Lawrence Fishburne, David
Mhm.
Hyde Pierce, Brandy Norwood,
Yes.
former host William Shatner, Ron Howard, a very complicated aging of having Kid Rock in this movie. There's no way they could have known that this would go in that direction in 2001. Yet here we are.
Yes, and some things I also want to say about some of our people here. So, David Hyde Pierce, speaking of season 20, he actually has hosted the show in that aforementioned
Oh, he
season.
did
Of
too?
course. Yep.
Do you
Yeah,
think
and
do you think it's possible that they only agreed to be in this movie because of each other?
maybe.
He said,
And
Chris Elliott's coming? Oh hell no, we're getting none. Get my freaking agent on the phone. We are being in this movie.
yeah, and of course, David Hyde Pierce, a part of a Frasier fame. Are you familiar with Frasier, Johnny?
A little bit. I know it's a spinoff of Cheers. I know it's set in
Mhm.
Seattle. It's like a therapy show.
Yeah, I only familiar for a tiny bit. I know there also that 2-season run on Paramount Plus they had of
Two
a
seasons.
revival.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and of course, as you mentioned, I'm Brandy Norwood of Moesha fame. Are you familiar with that show?
Oh yeah, we all know that one. I wish
Yeah,
there had been a little bit more female representation than this, but we'll get to that later.
yeah, and also another former host of Ron Howard hosting in the Ebersol era.
Ron Howard. Okay. So wait, was he hosting back when Happy Days was still on?
Ooh, I want to say so. Actually, let me
I would
check.
imagine that was his most on-screen fame era, I would think. Let's see. Well, so as you look it up, yeah, just a pretty good cast. Some pretty silly stuff. Wait, Antonio Fargas seems famous. I don't know.
Okay, so yeah, Happy Days was around at this time, but he was off it at this time. Back when
Okay.
yeah, because he hosted in '82, I want to say, and he left Happy Days in 1980. So yeah.
Oh wow. Okay. So yeah, let's get into this movie. Quite a lot to discuss. I will say it's very interesting to have seen this movie with Zootopia and Inside Out existing, and I've seen all four of those. Because I would think this would be nothing like Zootopia, and yet it kind of is. And obviously the parallels to Inside Out. So let's get into this little guy. Frank Detour is a widowed, slovenly zookeeper at the Scott Memorial Zoo in Rhode Island. Much to the frustration of his younger daughter, Shane, he eats compulsively unhealthy and has minimal concern for germs or disease while trying to eat a hard-boiled egg with mayonnaise on it and way too much salt. It is stolen from him by a chimp. He gets it back, but not before he falls into the filth of the chimp's habitat. When Shane is disgusted by him, about to eat it, he uses the 10-second rule as a justification for this unsanitary act. What did you think of this little kickoff incident, Victor?
Well, first off, I thought it was the 5-second rule, not the 10-second rule. So there's that.
Mm-hmm.
But like, yeah, this is like a nice start to the movie. It really kind of established like what we're gonna get into, and Bill Murray is as Bill Murray is here, just just laid back, putting in so much mayonnaise.
All the
on
Bill
that
Murrayisms are on display here.
Yeah, exactly. And because I kind of forgot, like it had animated elements because I kind of like looked at it mostly with a naked eye. So like how they kind of segued into like, oh, we're this like whole construction into this guy's body. I thought was really unique and yeah, it was like pretty good.
Yeah, I think it's interesting that they make the daughter the voice of reason for help in this because she's coming at. It's interesting also because she's coming at this from a mourning perspective, as we'll find out later. This is the only parent she's got, so obviously she really needs to keep her dad on his P's and Q's health wise, otherwise she'll be an orphan. So
Yeah,
it's
and
actually
I could definitely understand that with her case because like, and why the way you have like the daughter be the main like one, like, hey, dad, you gotta stop because I feel like,
yeah.
well,
You
I guess
see this a lot in some
everyone,
things where the parent is being taken care of by the child and it's supposed to be the other way
yeah,
around. Yeah.
yeah,
It's one of those scenarios. I will say ridiculous amount of salt. Like
yeah.
this guy would drown the ocean with this much salt. Good Lord. But
Uh,
yeah, it's interesting because he's definitely not the best. He eats the egg, and it immediately causes a problem because inside of Frank's body, particularly his mouth, Osmosis Ozzy Jones is an agent of the Frank PD, and he's an adventure-seeking white blood cell with a good sense of humor. He's a rebel cop, frequently disobeying authority to do whatever he thinks is right. He's often mocked by his fellow cops due to his rebellious nature. He has been relocated to the mouth to fight against germs entering the body via ingestion. After he induced Frank to puke all over Shane's teacher and the PE teacher, Miss Boyd, Shane's science teacher and PE teacher, Miss Boyd, at the school's science fair. This was considered a false alarm because had he been the only one to suspect an incoming pathological threat from the raw oyster Frank had eaten from one of the displays. After several newcomer germs, believed to be gingivitis, hijack a squad car in the mouth, Osmosis, and another officer in an FPD helicopter are pulled into the lungs by a massive yawn. After the germs evade capture and pass into the immunity's jurisdiction, Osmosis disobeys direct orders as he pursues the germs on foot and accidentally triggers a major cramp in Frank's leg when he destroys a nerve pillar. What did you think of this little sequence of scenes?
oh, it was it was just so unique because I feel like one great like two words to call this movie is creatively cute and because they have like so it's so funny seeing like the various different elements that we get here and like oh we have like our own policeman of this guy's body like we have a whole election going on a whole
Oh
news station.
yes, that's sort of there's such a society and all. Yeah, keep going.
Yeah, but it's really great and like just like seeing the how Osmosis like in his journey throughout this entire thing is like so great and just this whole sequence here is just really fun. It's not like the greatest thing ever, but like I had fun with it for sure.
Yeah, there's a lot to going on here. First of all, the first thing we see when he's in the helicopter, I can't help but think of this. He's looking at a DNA strand, and you know how DNA strands are. They're the curvy and twisty, and he's like, he wants to bang the DNA. He's like, look at the hip, look at the ass on that, look at the curves on that.
Which is so funny because at first I thought, aren't we supposed to be a family movie here? But then actually did some research and found out, oh, this is actually originally supposed to be kind of like a filthy-ish sort of
Oh, this is
thing.
very filthy because also another thing, like the thing I alluded to before, he's making some real colorful language. Some like
Yeah.
he calls it a germicide. Like instead of saying a genocide, it's like that's a little much for a kids movie. Good lord! And then also he has a gun. How the hell does
Oh
the
yeah.
cell have a gun? It's like yo, we're going real over the top with some of this shit, man. As I said,
Osmosis.
oh, Osmosis. Yeah, he's wow. As I said, Bill Murray with all the facial reactions to all of his bodily stuff is really weird. I will
Yeah,
say
that was another great element that I appreciated. Where, like how every time he like had like yawn, it's like, oh, we're going back in.
yes,
or like
yes.
or like him like having snot in his nose, like, okay, I'm gonna like snort back in. It's like, oh, like an earthquake happening in there.
Yeah, it's crazy that there's this much going on and we haven't even gotten to all the society part yet. But yes, there's a lot going on in the mouth. It creates a very fun action scene. I kind of I kind of wish this could have. This would definitely be a good every week thing. I don't remember if this had a show because a lot of animated movies did it have a show?
It did actually.
I thought it had a show. Oh my god! Oh my
Yeah,
god! That may be what I'm remembering from when I was a
let me
child.
try
How long did it last?
let me try to see here.
Like 2 seasons, 3?
Yeah, it had a show on Kids WB called Ozzy and Drix,
Yes.
which lasted 2 seasons, starring Phil Lamar.
I think that may have been what I seen because I watched a gang of Kids WB. I watched Jackie Chan show, Shaolin Showdown, Justice League, all them things. If it was pushed into that slot at any point, I definitely probably saw it and just mishmashed it into all those other shows. Anyways, there's just so much going on here. And then, as you said, we get down to the actual body. He's still chasing them, but we start to find out there's a whole police force situation. And then the mayor knows them. And it's like, how much is going on in here? My goodness. Yeah, man. Okay.
Yeah, and another thing I want to point out is like when like we return back to Frank and just Bill Murray's like screams when he's like he like falls off the ramp and Chain comes in to check on his leg, just like his screams and just the constant shaking of his leg really amused me. Even if I don't really think that was necessarily supposed to be funny, but it gave me a good laugh.
That's the thing about great people. They just elevate things to be funny. And yeah, like just such Bill Murrayisms in here. You can see this in Groundhog's Day. You can see some of this even in Meatballs.
Oh, yep. Absolutely.
Oh, yeah. Anyways, meanwhile, Mayor Slegmig is preparing for re-election campaigning with the promise of more junk food. His reckless policies are largely responsible for Frank's deteriorating health, but his re-election hopes are complicated by the arrival of Thrax, a deadly virus that came with a hard-boiled egg in an attempt to cover up the severity of the situation. Schlegmig tells Frank to take a cold suppressant, aka just a pill. The pill, Drixenol, Drix Cold Relief. I just realized that. Arrives in the body and covers Frank's infected throat with a disinfectant to soothe the irritation. Osmosis is assigned as Drix's partner, much to their mutual chagrin. Later on, an influenza virus tells Osmosis and Drix about Thrax's plot to masquerade as the common cold, while at the same time plotting to murder Frank with a high fever. Osmosis and Drix confront Thrax in a club in one of Frank's zits, where Drix launches a grenade of medication at Thrax and his popping skin blemishes, nearly killing all of Thrax's men and seemingly endless viruses to seed. What did you think of up to the point where he was assigned to Drix was assigned to him as a partner?
I thought it was like really fun, especially seeing like the rival campaigns ad. That was
this is crazy.
And again, it's like showing like how a whole like world is being developed in this one dude's body, not like everyone's, but just this one guy's body.
I know, yes.
It would have been funny if they just like cut to like someone else's body, like toward like the end of the movie, kind of like how they did with
Inside Out. Inside Out too. Yes, yes.
Yeah, missed opportunity there. But like, yeah, so much like fun stuff here, and I really think kind of like continues like of what this movie is, and it gets like nothing incredible, but again, just a full like 10 out of 10 just based off the premise of this and the concept, which I absolutely love, even if like the execution is not like mind-blowing, but still good stuff here.
Yeah, man, there's so much going on here. First of all, there's a great deal of body humor, like biology humor involved in this. I can't remember any of it particularly, but it talks about like different places and different things, like the zit, the armpit, You can find a lawyer in the hemorrhoids for some reason. There's just so much going on in here. But also, this is where I was saying it feels like Inside Out, but also like Zootopia. Because in Inside Out, obviously they're all in the mind. They have their own groups and stuff like that, the emotions. And it's like that. But Zootopia is like a full society with a mayor and a police force and things like that. And I'm like,
Yeah.
there is so much more politically going on here. There is a corrupt mayor. He's trying to lead the city in a bad direction. There's class dynamics. There's the poor blood cells that can't even get educated or read or stuff. It's like, hold up. There is a full scale. Oh my gosh, I did not know that this was going on. And then we bring in Drix, who, as we said, hotshot, loudmouth cop, Osmosis Jones. Then we get the buttoned up, I'm the rule follower. It's really crazy to put these two together, but it's also a classic bad partners thing if you see cop procedural shows and things like that. And one thing also a lot. I don't know who chose the music for this thing, but this soundtrack was black as hell. It was rap and R&B all over this shit. It was exceptional soundtrack.
Yeah, you have Brandy in your cast, and maybe
you've got Brandy in your cast. I mean, dude, this was so good. This had a better soundtrack than some action cop movies at the time. Like real, like trying to be good ones that were like that. This crushed some of those with this soundtrack. My God, they got this cover of Ambitions as a writer. They got a lot going on here. It's amazing. But speaking,
it would have been so cool if just like we're in this world now. Why don't we also have like our own like fake celebrity with like their hot new tracks about
they could have done that. Well, they did do that, but with Kid Rock's sketch.
Yeah. Like cut like throw off a journal like, and now the hot new track is like Miss Saliva and just singing all her her hot new songs. Like they cut to like her winning like a Spitty or something, like some sort of award. Like I'm so glad, thank you so much. I worked really hard to get this Spitty. Thank you guys so much. I worked really hard on this music.
Oh, that would have been this movie is deep enough to have had that kind of stuff going on. For real. It's crazy. One more thing before we get to the next part. It's interesting they talk to this virus, this flu in the mouth, on an influenza virus, tells Osmosis and Drix about Thrax's plot to masquerade as the common cold, while at the same time plotting to kill Frank in a high fever. Osmosis and Drix find Thrax at the club in one of Frank's zits, where Drix launches a grenade of medication at Thrax and his goons, popping the skin blemish, nearly killing all of Thrax's men, seemingly ending the virus's siege. First of all, I think that part of the synopsis is skipping over a lot, I would say. What did you think of this whole the takeover of Thrax, the Red Death, into the virus? Because he really sinks his fingers, quite literally, into the criminal underworld of Frank's body. What did you think of this?
Yeah, he like takes his job like extremely seriously, which of course everyone should be. And I always I kind of noticed, and maybe I kind of just blanked out for a second and like forgot the reason why he's like floating and everyone else is not. He's just kind of like this like new like big dude that they hired. But also I will say like the scene right before where they're like showing like Osmosis at the airport. There's like one quick brief scene like in the background, and you can't really notice it, but like one scene of like a little baby like just kind of like crying very silently, just like on her stomach, which I thought they get a good kick out of. And like it like shows the dynamic these two will have, which I think worked really nice here. And not a whole lot to say about it, but like some fun stuff here.
Yeah, I think this is crazy. All that goes on to this. So he comes into the mouth, right? He seems kind of like a little bit more out there than the other. He kills two people right off the bat. He's terrifying because he's like got Freddy Krueger fingers. He's scraping all along the thing. He's scorching everything basically. He's like some sort of a fire villain. And then when you're like, well, he can't do this all by himself. He has to go to the mafia of germs. I think it's the Minnesota mafia or something like that, because he tells the flu shot that.
So, yeah.
And he's like, he has to get the henchmen from him. Truly an unhinged movie that there is a criminal ecosystem in this. Because if there's a mafia, I'm like, so there must be germs that are drug dealers. There must be germs that are smugglers. Where I think they do allude to a germ pimp in this movie at one point.
Because why not? Why not?
Of course, there have to be. There would have to. They never any germ sex workers, but there's definitely. I saw a germ pimp. It's absolutely crazy how detailed they get into some of this stuff. Which, yeah, I will say this really small time germ. This is weird to me. So, in this movie, they don't outright say it. Well, they do kind of outright say it in different ways. But there are, in terms of voice acting, there are black germs and white germs and cells,
yes.
right?
Yeah.
And then in the movie, there are also red blood cells and white blood cells.
Yeah.
And I think a few other types of cells. But those don't get voiced like across anything. There are black people playing red blood cells. There are black people playing white blood cells. It's all over the place.
Yeah.
And yet, for some reason, this germ is Mexican and only speaks Spanish. Can somebody make some sense to this? Is I don't understand.
There's just so many like random little non sequiturs they have in this entire movie.
I don't understand the consistency of what this movie was trying to do with its racial undertones. It's not like problematic, at least to me.
Right.
But it's crazy that they would have that in here in all of it's absolutely insane. I guess I can't help but wonder how much this movie inspired Inside Out. Because Inside Out is not doing that. It's not explosive enough to where you would be able to tell. Like you can't tell anything specifically about Io Debris playing Envy that you wouldn't be able from any of the other characters. But it's crazy how much they're going at it to the point where they would do this, and it's like, I don't think they had any consistency in mind with all this.
Yeah, and it's very funny how like all these like different like ethnicities are like
they have different species of cells voiced by various different races. It's a lot going on.
Yeah. and it does make me laugh with it all. So
yeah, man. I don't know what they were going for, but I mean, it created a melting pot.
I mean, hey, at this point, it's 2001. We got to experiment a little bit.
It's 2001. Come on. You just had such a diverse 90s. You may as well.
Right.
I do think we start the elements of the mafia, as I said, and then I also start to realize, because this synopsis is not talking too much about the situation with Frank and his daughter, we start to realize, given the mourning situation, the grief situation, the relationship with the daughter, how he talks to her, how he handles things, we see that he's not just unhealthy physically and how he eats and things and all the zits and all the cramps. He's also a little bit emotionally unhealthy.
Yeah.
I feel like that might have been glossed over a little bit. What do you think?
I mean, sure. I guess you could say that, and I wouldn't be surprised because again, like his I don't know if they ever really established themselves like why exactly or how the wife passed away. I
think they did. They said that she was also a very unhealthy eater, and for that reason, and then she passed away from something like that. So yeah, it's building on a sort of a trauma that the daughter is having, but it's affecting them very differently. What are you saying?
Yeah, maybe in Frank's mind, it's like, oh, I really loved her, and I can't do this without her. So maybe I'm gonna try to be as unhealthy as her, so I could end up with her.
Dude, that's so dark. But
It's like,
I can't help but think there's definitely people that take on that type of dynamic. That sucks.
yeah,
For Shane, but damn.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
that'd
And
be
she's like a very, like lead. I guess like leader, you could say of she's definitely the leader between her and Frank, and which I think is
yes.
very
Yeah.
sweet. Of like, hey,
Like
like
I said,
dad,
it's the
you really gotta
parent. What were you gonna
like.
say?
I was like, like in her mind, it's kind of like, oh, dad, like you really have to like stop, or it's going to get worse, and he just does not care.
Yes. Yeah. It's very much the child leading the parent here. Um it's also really weird when we start to see how she is someone who has a tough time dealing with people because of her mom's situation. And then after the puke situation with the teacher, she's even more lonely. But we don't know all that until like the second half of the movie. And yet through the first half, it seems like she's such a capable, like smart little girl that's like really keeping her whole family afloat.
Yeah, there's the kind of established that it's like it's like that, which they do is kind of like a good high until you like reveal exactly like who her character is. So I think that's a nice part to it.
You know what I think it might be? It might be she has such little control at school because of the
Yeah,
embarrassing thing. She has
yeah,
such little control of what can happen and such a tragic thing to happen for so young that she takes such strong and serious control of her father and his health habits to compensate for all the other chaos going on in her life.
yeah. I'm kind of glad like this movie didn't have like a scene of like a bunch of kids like really attacking her like all
No,
over
that
the
would have been
movie.
too much.
Yeah, so I'm so glad they didn't do that with this because that would have just been like yeah, like you said, too much. It's like
Yeah, that would have been overboard. So, anyways, as Osmosis and Drix confront Drax in a club in one of Frank's zits, where Drix launches a grenade of medication at Drax and his goons, popping the skin blemish, killing nearly all of Drax's men, and seemingly ending the virus. The pop of the zit goes right at Mrs. Boyd, who's still getting over the throw up incident from a few months or years ago, and Frank Hempston, he was coming to apologize for anyways. What did you think of this action scene, and also a little bit about Miss Boyd?
yeah, I did think that was kind of funny and a very great way to this like movie of like how like why she's upset at
Yeah.
him and just like a very ridiculous zit on his face, which I think gets like a great reaction. Especially like when the kids are trying to like look over, like see like oh, what's going on. She's like, stay focused on like whatever you're working with. And I just thought that was like a very fun moment and just like in like the when we first see that scene of the two of them together, I really liked just the interaction Frank has with the kid, of, like him eating. What was he eating again? What like a he's like eating some. They went to one of the kids like science fair projects. Like
Oh, when he ate that oyster, yeah.
yeah, the oyster and just the very cartoonish way he turned green too, which is like all of it was
Yeah,
like
no,
really great.
he shows very good reaction to getting sick in this. Um, it's interesting. I really kind of thought, oh, this kind of gets into some of my thoughts with the very strange female representation of this movie. So, within the body, there's only one girl basically in the whole thing that has any lives. Now, I think they thought in the context of the whole movie, because of Mrs. Boyd, because of Shane, it's like, well, this is fine. We got three in here. It feels weird that she's the only one among the cells, though. That Brandy is the only one. And of course, she's the love interest and the damsel in distress. It's like, come on, y'all put all of the tropes in there at once.
So much on it that like makes it like very like
yeah, it was very stacked, but again, it feels complicated because she's the only one in the animated context that does that. But
right.
because of the teacher and the daughter, it's like, well, technically no, but it's still it's just a weird mismatch of things, which isn't completely separated to the thing I just said about the various species and demographics within the body that are not present outside of the body. Like everyone in the live action of this, I think, is just a regular white person. but
Right.
inside the body, there's everything going on. Like I wouldn't be surprised if there's a Chinatown inside his body
Yeah.
somehow. Yeah,
It is very funny how like the like actually like humans are like predominantly like it's like all these like basically black or mostly black
yeah.
fella in the whole
There's
body.
black people, there's Latin people, there's white, there's everything going on. I think there's a white person with an accent inside his body. There's a lot
Yeah.
going on here.
I didn't even notice that. That's a great point you just made there.
Yeah, it's really, but yeah, like I said, it's like, I don't know. It feels like a weird outlier that the only girl in the animated part is stacked all of these tropes on top of her. It's strange. What else was I about to say? This is all, oh man, I glossed over a couple things. So first of all, inside this zit is where Kidney Rock and his band is playing. We don't need to get too much into that, but that
Yeah,
ages so strangely.
and it's so funny because
It's
I
crazy
still
they
know
had
like
two
the
rocks in this
whole.
movie, by the way.
Oh yeah, but it's crazy because yeah, but like it's crazy because like I don't know like I probably shouldn't like know the exact full story of why Kid Rock is like so super hated, but like I do know like
I think
anytime I
it's
see
all about his conservatism. I think he's just been
oh
doing the
okay.
MAGA stuff since like 2015.
Oh okay, so like
Yeah, but
one
it's
of the now more
crazy.
famous reasons someone could be hated now is just
Yeah,
the
yeah, it stacks on top of itself. But
yeah.
it's really crazy to me that of all the people, I mean, and then listen, 2001, a full
Yeah.
25 years ago. There have been a lot of celebrity public opinion changes since then, but they
Mhm.
really accidentally bit the bullet with this one.
And it's funny, our second movie we have done that's been in 2001 since after Zoolander, and but unlike
Yeah.
Zoolander, this came out like August 10th. So
Wait, so what time did this one come out?
this one came out August 10th, 2001. So a near full month, or after or before. I don't
Wow.
know.
I'd love to think that these might have been played on the same theater screen at some point.
Yeah.
Anyways, what was I saying again? Um, yeah, there's a lot going on here. I also want to get into some of the shape shifting of this movie. I think that was used very interestingly. At one point, I thought it wasn't doing it enough, but then I started to see it more. Uh, he slices himself in half. Did you see what he had to do to get into this club?
Oh, I must have missed that part
He
now.
mushed himself around to where he had only one eye so he could pass for a germ.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's like
All right.
we're getting into some crazy stuff here. He's trying to pass for a germ, yet he still looks like a white blood cell because he's not green. There's if they really wanted to, they could have really gone somewhere with the species dynamics of the stuff, but oh my gosh. And then Red Death looks like literally no one else in this whole thing. It's crazy.
Anyway.
Anyway,
Kind of God, what's his name? Scar? No, not Scar, but like Mufasa, like or whoever was the bad guy. I remember what Lion King in a while, but like whoever was the bad guy in Lion King.
a little bit like Lion King.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's still just absolutely crazy. Anyways, like we said, the zit explodes all over Mrs. Boyd, who's kind of an uptight teacher in this, but she seems like a really nice regular teacher until she keeps getting Frank's bodily fluids all over her, which would piss anybody off, obviously.
Yeah, that moment changed her life forever. Now,
oh yeah, no, I'm never talking to you. She put a restraining order on this nigga, man. Yeah, it's like Jesus. How bad was this puke that you had to put a restraining order on him? You got to pay for those. Right. I mean, my God.
And you're a teacher too. Like, what money do you have? Like,
I know. It's pretty crazy. Anyways, Thrax somehow survives this explosion after he kills off his own remaining henchman, launches a lone assault on Frank's hypothalamus gland, the portion of the brain that's used to control the temperature. He just straight up like steals it. He disables its self-regulating capabilities. Within this, we start to learn that he's killed like 4 people. He wants to go down in infamy as one of the worst diseases of all time, by killing a man in only 48 hours.
Coronavirus saw that. I was like, hey, not on my watch.
Oh my Jesus. This is another thing where it ages weird after certain events have happened since this movie has come out. Anyways, there he uses his virus-infecting claw to destroy the protoplasmic barrier around the gland and takes a DNA bead. Soon after, the mayor's secretary, Leah Estrogen, I didn't even know that was her name. That is way too on the nose. Estrogen is the chemical created in a woman's body. It's very specific only to them. I can't believe they use that name.
Oh, it's a real. Oh wow.
Yes.
Yes. Wow.
It's specific to females of all species. They use a lot of whale estrogen and like perfumes and like body creams and stuff. It's a whole thing. Leah Estrogen discovers his sabotage and alerts security. Threx manages to evade them, taking Leah hostage, and escapes from the brain through the mouth. What did you think of all of this?
Yeah, it was another like sequence of events that was like very like fun to see, but like the overall execution could have been probably a bit more fun for me, but like I thought it was like another great like scene to like watch of this movie, and just like again like seeing all the different places this one guy's body has. It continues to amuse me with how everything was going, and like now leading up to like this like thing with Mike like kill Frank was kind of more like okay. Now you kind of have my attention a little bit, like, yeah, I kind of want to see this guy die, but no. But
yes,
it's some fun stuff here.
So much fun stuff here. And as you were saying, all the many different parts of this guy's body, we start to get into the lore around Osmosis Jones. Apparently, he was too poor to be able to buy puke because he was raised in the butt crack, and then also. This gets into a whole nother level of lore because at one point he mentions, what was it he said? He said, when my ancestors came over here on the umbilical cord. So you're yeah. What are you
and being raised in the butt crack is another thing that this is like more of like a more raunchy movie. It would get like cut to like Frank and his wife like back when they were younger. So they just going right at it, and they just zooming on the butt crack, and the whole new town is being shown.
Yeah, just every time that there's diarrhea, it's a storm. It's like, oh boy, we better get inside. It's gonna be a stank storm one more time.
Funny, like, kind of like a commercial parody of like they treat like the butt crack as like a neighborhood. Like, hey, are you bored in the mouth? Come to butt crack. We have a whole new town here. We're peaceful here. We're a little stinky, but we're a little peaceful. We're very peaceful.
Oh my god, yeah, no, this is absolutely crazy. And then, like I said, ancestors came over on the umbilical cord. His great-great-grandfather used to fight the measles. There is a whole nother level of lore going on in what would have been Frank's mother's body at some point, which means that also all of her white blood cells came over in the umbilical cord from Frank's grandmother. This literally goes back to several generations. The thought that all of this is going on, this movie has so much society in it. That's why I said it feels like Zootopia in the amount of history and society and like past stuff. There's class dynamics here because he said he was super poor in the butt crack, and it's like, so there are rich white blood cells and poor white blood cells.
And it's like this entire generation too. This one generation of human. Not everyone, just this one generation where all this big stuff happened. Which I think is another great detail.
I really hope, I don't know what they were doing on the show. I really hope they got into more of this on the 2 seasons of the show, because there's an insane amount of lore here. This is a full sci-fi movie, basically, at some points of the shit.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah, and I should have checked out the Kids WB show a little bit, but I would guess it's probably the same thing, and about also like
it's probably like one-off,
like a little bit more cleaner maybe on Kids WB. So
yeah, from what I understand about this, when they made an animated movie into a show, it would always be like basically the concept of the movie, and then you would be like, oh, there's a villain of the week and we got to catch him, and then we do, and then the thing is resolved. And sometimes a full season arc that's like split throughout the whole thing, but that's
Yeah, and in fact, another great movie that I know we could do, Emperor's New Groove with David Spade, and I believe that was also turned to a very short-lived TV show.
Yeah, that's an interesting one. Also, a little strange
Also, don't put
racially
the
that
same
David Spade is playing a South American person.
yeah. Also, I think maybe not the same animation company, but I noticed like this
No,
movie.
it's not the same anime. This was WB. That was Disney.
Oh yeah, but I did notice like the animation of both this and Emperor News Groove kind of look similar. But I
Yeah,
guess
it's just it's the style of the time. It's the style.
Yeah,
That's one thing we'll get into as we get more animated movies. Each of these has a very specific style of the time where you can be like, oh, this was from this and this was from this.
yeah,
And then Shrek
yeah,
comes out and now everybody has 3D movies and they go to
yeah,
copy this. And then Into the Spider-Verse comes out and it's like, oh, now we're slowing down this frame to update this frame. And they all have their own very specific time periods, and that'll probably go on forever. Okay, where was I? Meanwhile, as we were saying, the temperature continues to rise because he's taken the gland, causing chaos to break out all over the city of Frank. Frank is taken to the hospital under the influence of Thrax's attack. Ozzy and Drix rescue Leah and confront Thrax, who leaves Frank's mouth after causing confusion using pollen. Osmosis and Thrax find one of Shane's eyeballs and end up on Shane's false eyelash after she blinks, which she was wearing atop her natural ones on her way to a hiking trip. What did you think of this crazy sequence?
Well, I really liked how it just shows like how compassionate she is about her dad when she like recognizes he's about to go to the hospital, and then we have like Uncle Bob and Shane both going over to them, and I love how like she like confessing like, "Hey, Dad, I didn't really mean that. Like, please like survive." And I like a cute detail of like him actually being on top of her eyelash and several eyelashes just falling. It's like, oh, we're about to fall again, and that was a very funny. It was like a nice kind of like I guess the kind of like edge of your seat type of scene here we have, which I thought was very fun.
Yes, I would say so. There's a lot going on here. I'd say an interesting part of this is at one point, I guess in the All Is Lost, I don't know if it's right before or after this. He's watching the dream sequences, like their movies.
Yeah, I think that was like before they shoot like a movie theater, which I thought was another.
Yeah, which then now that I'm thinking about it, this alludes to the little mini series that came out right after Inside Out 2. Famously led by SNL writer Paul Appel, by the way. Dream Productions, where basically they have the same thing. There's a whole dream movie category. He's watching this also way more graphic than that, because not only is he watching this in the movies, there is this couple like full on making out. like going past third base all over each other right behind him.
Yeah, like, hey, watch the movie. Save that for home.
Yeah, it's what a meta situation that must have been if someone was actually watching this movie, making out in this movie while watching this movie, watching that scene.
Yeah, the whole.
So while you're coming to this technically kids movie to make out is none of my business.
Right. I think as long as there was no tongue in there, it's like fun.
I guess so. I think there was some tongue in there. Bro.
Oh
my gosh. But one more thing, getting back to what you said about their Uncle Bob. He is kind of a mess. He's a crazy, chaotic character. What does he say? He's like, oh man, if you die, bro, I'm going to take care of Shane until she's 16. And it's like, 16? You're supposed to be 18. And it's like, well, I can't baby her, bro. It's like, Bob helped him get a job after he lost his other job, but Bob ain't no good influence in this movie, bro. I don't think Bob is. It's weird because it's almost like Bob is the comedic relief character, but because it's Bill Murray, he's already kind of a stupid, silly character.
Right.
And it's like now we're adding comedic relief on top of what was already. It's really weird.
That's a very Chris Elliott. Because I know he's like known to play kind of like creepish characters in his movies. So it's very on brand that they would give that kind of role to him. And I also kind of like how, despite all the like very infamous, things that happened because of his dad, she has friends that were willing to give her like a little makeup, which I thought should appreciate. And that's pretty much all I'll say about that there.
Yeah, totally. And one last thing, I talked about the fake eyelash right before everything goes down with her going to the hospital, which I'm not sure if they would have pulled the bus over real life. but they do make the other students do makeup on Shane, so that for this entire scene of one of the most serious moments of her life, she is all made up like she almost looks like a clown, sort of. And it's like, this is really weird. Like, this is a near death experience for her father, and she's got her face beat. She's got the eyelashes on fake. Like, it's really weird to see her in such a serious, tense moment with a face like that. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
and it could be much worse. She got like full on like
Yeah,
biggest amounts of blush ever, and that
it
actually kind of
looked
reminds
like,
me of
yeah.
what one sketch I believe just a couple years ago with Beck Bennett, where it's like he's playing a dad who was trying to protect his daughter with a gun, and he actually blows his penis off,
Oh
and
my God. How
like
did
oh
this
wow, I
remind
almost
you
saw
of
like that,
that?
and it was like it's like a prom night for that sketch too. So like oh wow, it was prom night. My dad almost died. Prom night. I would never remember. I'll always remember.
I am gonna have to go back and watch that one. I don't think
Yeah,
I
it was when
remember it. That's
Anya Taylor Joy hosted.
Anya Taylor. Yes, that was a great episode. Season
Yeah.
finale, I think, right?
Yep. Yeah.
Yeah.
Great.
Okay, I gotta go back and look at that. Good. Wow. Okay.
And a very great early Dismukes sketch.
Oh yeah, very very great one. Yeah. Um. Anyways, during the fight, Thrax threatens to kill Shane. So yeah, this is a full-on villain. He's out here trying to. I think he already killed a little girl earlier in the movie, but he just alludes to it off screen. Um, Threatens to kill Shane, but Ozzy causes him to knock Shane's fake eyelash into a vessel of alcohol below, which pretty much completely melts down and destroys Thrax the Red Death. During this
This
time,
one thing I want to say real quick is like this was a scene where I kind of expected him to be like, it's burning, it's burning. And they just cut to just like them still operating on him, and just like kind of a little squeaky voice of like him, like, you're like help me, help me. That
yeah,
would have been very
they do a lot of that where it's like
yeah.
serious thing is happening on the cell germ level, but it's like basically a drop hit the ground on the human level. Yeah, it's really weird. Threatens to kill her, falls into the alcohol. During this time, the situation becomes even more dangerous when the temperature hits 108 degrees Fahrenheit, causing Frank to go into cardiac arrest. Just as doctors give up, Frank is revived when Ozzy returns his body with one of Shane's tears missing the hypothalamus chromosome. Ozzy is reinstated to immunity with full privileges, and he and Drix are declared heroes, with the chief of police giving Ozzy his job back after having survived Thrax's attack. Frank begins to improve his diet and his personal hygiene. What did you think of this as we get to the resolve of this?
Yeah, like a perfectly fine ending. I kind of a predictable ending, I will say too, but like that's not like a super big critique there. But like, yeah, it's like good ending, like showing like the big final like battle between the two of them, and eventually Frank surviving, like which I thought was also very great. So yeah, not a whole lot to say here, but like not bad of an ending or near
Uh,
ending.
yeah, there is something I think I forgot to mention. As I was saying, he was watching the movie up there, and then at some point, Drix is about to get pissed out. And I want to understand, how the hell does he get from the subconscious in the brain all the way down to the bladder fast enough to get him back out to help him save the end of this movie? That
Ooh.
is literally your head all the way down to like here. It's like, I don't understand how you pull this off. I guess this is movie logic. I shouldn't get too upset about it. But that is
Right.
way too far of a distance for me to accept.
Yeah, who knows? We might have to talk to a doctor afterwards. Maybe they can explain it to us.
Yeah, maybe that's a side effect of this disease that we really need to understand. Yeah. Um, as Frank is about to die, I noticed the little Titanic reference where the band is going down with the ship. The news is actually acting crazy. Yeah, because as we said, there's such a society going on in this body. There is a newscast.
and
There is
and
a
and
strange newscast of this where it was pretty rough between this male and female newscaster. You watch for yourself, but it is I don't know if we
And
can
I love
show
how
that.
like when it's so hot in there, they like completely lose. Like, hey, we're dying here. It's like
Yeah.
nothing matters anymore.
Yeah, they cut
Oh, they
back to
die.
them all fucked up. He's got a black eye. I think she has a neck brace. It's a little more violent than you might have expected. But anyways, we see them save the day, the tear into the mouth.
Yeah,
I mean that's a little gross, but I mean it's his daughter. You know, they've done all sorts of stuff while their daughters. Um, the fake eyelash. It's a very wholesome way to get this together. I like this
a very
fact.
appropriate way for this movie too.
Yeah, very appropriate way for this to go. There's a little bit more though.
Hmm.
Meanwhile, because we also have to wrap up the
Yeah,
campaign that's underlying as the C story in this movie. Mayor Flingming has lost his position as mayor. He's now a janitor in the bowels. He accidentally injects himself into the body via the rectum, aka a fart, by touching a button that is called marked do not touch, triggering Frank's farting. And perfect ending to me for this because this mayor was
100%.
a piece of shit, man. He was he was literally a piece of shit, so that's why he got farted out.
Yeah,
Yeah, he sucks. I wanted him to get his comeuppance. I wasn't sure at one point. It looked like it was barreling towards nothing is gonna happen to him. Which, like, no, for a villain this bad who's fucking up this whole body
right.
and about to cause another trauma in a little girl's life, no, fuck this guy.
Yeah, no, absolutely, yeah.
Yes, totally. Um, and that
uh,
was Osmosis Jones.
yes,
My
yes.
goodness, such a crazy movie. Again, I I can't help but think this inspired Inside Out. It
Mhm.
really, I don't know if they watched it directly or if it was one of those accidental situations where you're like, I don't know if anyone's done this, but we should do this. But it's just there's so much going on in this thing.
Yeah, and as I said in the beginning, I like kind of did some research and I found out like this movie was originally supposed to be like kind of a PG-13 movie, which you could definitely see throughout this movie. So I'm not like surprised by that at all. And I'm kind of glad they made this a like family-friendly ish movie because it's I can even see like 10-year-old me like really enjoying this movie, really vibing with it.
Oh
And I
yeah,
feel like in a very unique way. And this is a comment by the way. I feel like this is like a movie like maybe like your health teacher would show you like, hey kids, we're gonna talk about the body today. So here's this movie on
this
Jones. And
is
after that, they're gonna give you like a
interesting.
15-minute or 15 questions on the movie. It seems like that kind of movie. I don't know
I
what you feel
could
like.
see that. I could see that. I think it's interesting at this point in time, people would show you what was it called? Miss Frizzle,
Yeah,
Magic School Bus, because
yeah,
Magic School Bus had a bunch of stuff like this.
mm-hmm.
But if you were
Yep,
an edgier teacher, if you, I definitely think inner city schools would rather show this movie.
yeah,
Like, listen, bro, I'm gonna tell you from a real nigga's perspective how the body goes down. We're playing Osmosis Jones. Sit down and shut up.
yeah. And this seems like such a movie too, where like
Yes.
you watch it and like something like crazy happens, and everyone's like talking like, "Oh wow, I can't believe that happened," or like, "Wow,
Oh yeah.
the movie's stupid. You could have done this with it." Like,
Yeah, this is
oh
not a movie you could watch on your phone. There's so much going on in here at
right, yeah,
one
exactly.
time. Oh my goodness.
Oh
Okay.
man,
But let's
that's
get
for our
into
dude
some
Chris
of what
Rock.
were we gonna say?
Also, that's for our dude Christopher Rock
Yeah, I
family.
was gonna say let's get into some of the filmography of Chris Rock. This is kind of a blip on his stuff because
Hmm.
I don't think he did a lot of animated movies.
Yeah, so like for this year in 2001, this was his fourth of five movies he did in this overall year. The
Oh
other
wow.
four were Down to Earth, which is a movie I definitely want to do because it has Regina Hall and Eugene Levy, two people I absolutely love.
Oh
Uh,
wow.
the artificial intelligence movie, Pootie Tang,
Oh,
Jay and
Pootie Tang,
Silent Bob
bro.
Strike Back.
I wish he would have led Pootie. It's interesting because Pootie Tang is created from a character that spun off on the Chris Rock show on HBO, but the guy who did it was just a writer play. It's almost like you've seen The Office before, right? You
Yeah, I've
know,
seen The Office.
Michael Schur plays what is Dwight's
Dwight's
cousin's
cousin.
name?
Oh, I forget his name. I'll
Whatever
let you.
Dwight's cousin's name is. Mose. It's kind of like Mose in that this is a writer that's primarily a writer and never does more than a writer does, but he ends up playing a character, and now it's like, well, Lance Crowther is now the lead of this huge comedy movie, but he never wanted to be an actor. And it's like, it's a real weird dynamic. I wish Chris had led that movie. It would have been very different. But but then that would have been a great movie to review because that character spins off of the Chris Rock show.
Yeah, then in 2002, he did Bad Company with Anthony Hopkins, which is
Right.
interesting. And then 03, Pauly Shore is Dead. 2004, the N-Word documentary.
Oh my gosh, whoa.
Yeah, as well as in 2004, Paparazzi. The Aristocrats, Madagascar in 2005.
Madagascar, we got to review that one.
Of course.
Ben Stiller.
He was a brief. Oh no, he was a part of the main cast of The Longest Yard.
Bro, The Longest Yard, man. I don't want to spoil anything for the people who haven't seen The Longest Yard. Chris Rock's arc in The Longest Yard is a bummer. I got to be honest.
Yeah, and in 2007, he didn't do anything in 2006, and then in 2007 he did I Think I Love My Wife with him and Kerry Washington.
Oh yeah, this is where he's starting to lead a good chunk of stuff around this era of time.
Yeah, then in 2007, the infamous B movie.
Oh yeah, I've heard about that one. I've heard a lot of bad things about that one.
Yeah, in 2009, Good Hair. 2010, Death at a Funeral, and then Grown Ups, which we did.
We might be able to do Death at a Funeral. I'm not sure. I don't know who officially leads that cast, but it's got Chris and Tracy.
Yeah, that one has Loretta Devine, Peter Dinklage, Danny Glover, Regina Hall, Martin Lawrence, James Marsden, which I'm surprised he would be in a movie like this. Zoe Saldana, Luke Wilson, Keith David, Ron Glass, and Kevin Hart.
Yeah, I don't know. It feels we might be able to do this one. It's a weird one. It's a real ensemble. I don't know if there is an official lead. But then, as we said, our first episode, Grown Ups, comes right after that. 2 Days in New York, Madagascar 3, another Madagascar.
In 2014, he did a top 5, which has a lot of different black.
We're doing top 5. We have to do top 5. Top 5's in the theme song. We got to do top 5.
Oh wow.
Yeah, yes. I saw top 5 in theaters.
And plus, it'll give us an opportunity to talk about Michael Che, which, of course, we talk about the show now, but like in movie forms, we don't always get to talk about.
Wait, was Michael Che in top 5?
It's going to Wikipedia, yeah.
Oh my god!
It also reminds me, we also have to do the Tom and Jerry 2018 movie with Colin Jost.
Oh my god! It's so fun discovering what future episodes we get to do.
Yeah. And then let's see, The Week of with Adam Sandler in 2018.
I've heard a lot about this one. Yeah,
I think I've seen that one a couple years ago. I don't remember what I thought of it though, because it's been a long time now. But Dolomite Is My Name, the Eddie Murphy movie in 2019, and then in 2021, Bad Trip with what's his name, Eric Andre.
Was he in Bad Trip? I loved Bad Trip so much. Grandmother Bad Trip.
Yes,
so good.
It's Eric Andre.
Oh, it's the deleted scene. No wonder I didn't see it. Damn it.
Oh, I didn't look. I didn't even look at that right there.
That's crazy.
Then
I can only imagine how much, because Bad Trip is an insane movie. But
then 2023 part of the Paw Patrol movie, which why not? Then 2025 the Eddie Murphy documentary. This year the Lauren Michaels documentary, and
of course
coming soon he'll be in a drama called Misty Green with a lot of big names here: Adam Driver, Dan Kaluuya, Anna Kendrick, Topher Grace, and Anthony Anderson. So that's gonna be a very fun movie to do.
Yeah, that sounds pretty awesome. But we did forget, because you only started in 2001, we're forgetting the first one he ever led, CB4. CB4 starts in 1993. I think he's pretending to be a rapper. Have you seen CB4?
I'm feeling that one clip of like, I'm black, y'all. I'm black, y'all. And I'm black,
y'all. Yeah. My goodness. We're going to have to do CB4 at some point. But yeah, he's got a pretty wide array. Not quite as, hardly anyone is as successful as him.
Oh, wow. And I'm now seeing here, not only is Chris Elliott in there, but Phil Hartman. So that's, wow.
In CB4?
Mm-hmm.
Get the fuck out of here. That's crazy.
Phil Hartman in this type of movie.
And that type of movie sounds insane. We gotta see CB4 now just to see how are we even fitting some of these people into this movie.
Yeah, like if you told me like Dana Carvey was in that, I could sort of understand. But Phil Hartman,
yeah, no, he's a very specific type of white Phil Hartman.
Right.
Yeah, it's gonna be really crazy to see how CB4 works out. Considering that was the first movie that Chris led. But speaking of all the movies Chris led, yeah, there's a wide array of things here. Not like too much of a crazy subject matter. He always is kind of playing a bit of an urban type of person. Yeah. He doesn't have like a Black Knight in there. He doesn't have like a Brooklyn Vampires in Brooklyn in there where you get something like a little more crazy. But yeah, he has a pretty good munch there, you know?
Yeah, for sure.
Also, I cannot get past this. We cannot talk about Chris's career after without the beloved Everybody Hates Chris.
Oh,
that was a huge part of 15, 20 years of my life. We would watch that live when it came out. It's all over syndication. It's just, it's a huge deal.
Yeah, and good
he only
stuff.
did like voiceover on it. He did it like very Wonder Year style, but it was amazing stuff for us.
Yeah, it's so funny. For the longest time, I guess like, probably because like 7-year-old me or however old I was, like didn't really know who Chris Rock was. So I was like pretty surprised when I found out like, oh, this is actually about Chris Rock. I thought it was just like
the guy from Everybody Hates Chris. That's probably how lots of children were introduced to him. Yeah. And wow, that is a fun one to think about. Man, but speaking of Everybody Hates Someone, we're not talking about you here. So tell them where everybody loves Victor and where they can find him at on the internet.
Yes. As usual, you can find me on Instagram at I'mAlive00000, and you can also find me on Twitter where the tag is also I'mAlive, but instead of 5 zeros afterwards, numbers are 419. Talking about stuff I love, and yeah, and even if you don't love it, still check it out because you might love it because I'm talking about it. So that's where I'm at.
Yes, we love to see it. We love to see it. You can find me at Lego Sports Ball, aka at Toxic Hoops Takes on TikTok. Whereas again, I'm always posting fun little women's basketball content. He_gentleman on Instagram. And you can find this video and my whole YouTube channel at Oversimplified Productions, where, like I said, you can find this podcast. By the way, I'm pretty sure everybody knows this by now, but you can find this podcast on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. I think a few other ones. And I think you guys might want to start leaving us a review. I think there's definitely some opinion.
We have enough now. You got to tell us what you like and what you don't like.
Yeah, I think you might have an
just
opinion.
Be nice about it. That's all I ask. Just be nice about it.
Just be nice. Don't get too
great constructive criticism. Don't be like, hey, I hate you too. Like, hey, we hate you back.
Yes. Or we're gonna give you the Red Death. Okay. That's what we're gonna. I guarantee that promise. But such a great episode, such fun. Glad we got to do this one. Glad we got to get our first animated one off the pile. And hopefully we'll be back with some more guests. One more thing. It's a little tough to upload the Discord link onto the YouTube right now, but you can find it in the podcast description on Apple Podcasts and I think on Spotify Podcasts, so click it there. If you want to join our Discord, where you can apply to become a guest, you can meet all sorts of different people along our online friends, along fans of the show. And you can just have a lot of fun talking about SNL and all other things.
Right. Yeah. And if you're like not like the biggest, SNL fan, we got some other stuff that
we're just talking comedy, talking pop culture. It's all there.
Yeah.
It's all there, man. It's a whole Frank's body worth of people in the Discord.
Right.
Yes. Anyways, great having you as a listener, and we'll see you next time on another episode of Not Ready for Popcorn Players podcast. Have a great night.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.